I'm officially done with dating. I am done with dating. I have tried, I put my heart on the line, and people just continue to play with it. So, you know what I told myself? I am not focusing on crashing out anymore over crusty men. I am just going to be focusing on getting hot and growing my businesses. So, yeah, if you're trying to take me on a date, I don't know what's going to happen because I am locked into me now because you crusty men, I tell you what, you know how to love bomb, you know how to hoodwink, and maybe I am just an idiot, but I just love, and I want love so bad, but I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening. 2025 dating, the new era of dating, is just not for me. It's not for me. And honestly, I'd rather be alone than be cheated on, be love bombed, be gaslit, and told I'm stupid. So, bye bye dating. Hello. Just focusing on me and being hot and growing my businesses. And honestly, I'm just venting here, but if I just end up with dog children, I guess that's it for me. So, bye guys.
Damn!
Oh, you poor queen. It is so obvious that you are hurting, and modern 2025 dating is just atrocious for women, especially attractive women like you. I mean, these crusty men out there, as you said, cheat on you, you're hoodwinked, you're love bomb, you're gaslit, and you're told you're stupid. So my question is, you obviously are on the higher end of the attractive spectrum that men like. If you look this way and you got some solid hooters working for you and you're still getting cheated on, I just gotta ask, what are you doing wrong? Ladies, before you start coming after this gorilla saying, "Go, gorilla, why is it always her fault?" Stop, let's think about this for one moment. If this girl is all that in a bag of chips, why do men cheat on her? Well, let me tell you why. Because 90% plus of all the men out there are invisible to her. The men that would be faithful to her, the men that would treat her the way she wants to be treated, she's not interested in. She only goes for the top 10% of men. Hell, this one? Probably the top 5%. Who am I kidding? The top 3%. Because she believes she qualifies for those men. And she also believes that those men have to be monogamous to her and dedicate themselves to her because she is making herself hotter. What she doesn't understand is hot women are a lot more abundant than the top 3% of men, regardless of your bra size. Before we move on, I want to say thank you, fam, to all of my subscribers for supporting this channel. I truly appreciate all of you who leave comments, who like my videos, and share them on other social media platforms. I truly gotta say thanks, fam. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. And for those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I thank you for tuning in, and I hope you decide to hit that subscribe button. Moving on!
Here's my biggest ick lately with dating, and it is happening all the time. Please tell me if you are dealing with this too. I'm talking about men overselling me so fast. These are men that I haven't even been on a date with. They're just texting me. We're in the early texting stage, and they already feel comfortable making comments about my appearance, how sexy I am, how hot I am, things they want to do to me, certain body parts, my ass. And you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference between a man being like, "You're so beautiful," or "You're gorgeous, oh my gosh," and like, "You're so sexy, we'd have so much fun." Like, excuse me, sir, why do you feel so comfortable talking to me like that when you haven't even met me? And you will never get to meet me when you lead with that, because it makes me feel disrespected. It makes me feel like a piece of meat. I want someone that actually wants to see me, get to know me, love me. And these aren't even young guys, which is why I'm so confused. These are guys in their 30s, 40s, who still haven't learned that women don't just want to be objects, especially with a solid, high-value woman. It is not going to fly. I immediately stopped talking to them. I'm so turned off.
All right, sister, let me say something. You're a single mom, and I'm not saying that as an insult, but when you say that men talk to you this way, especially as a high-value woman, let me break it to you a little bit. Before I can say how right you are, I gotta say how wrong you are. And a high-value woman you are not. If you're a single mom dating right now, you don't have the value that you think you do. See, you're valuing yourself at the level that men value themselves, not the same metric. Men don't look for the same things that women look for. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. Now, as to why the men talk to you this way, and they treat you like a piece of meat and all that, and your valid complaints, okay, this girl understands that, but let me explain something to you. The older men that talk to you this way, either A, you may be right because they don't know how to talk to women, that is possible, but B, this is another equally big, if not even bigger possibility, they're just talking to you to put you in the side chick role, because they already have a main somewhere else. And the reason they talk to you like you're a piece of meat, because that's how they see you. They can afford to text you this way because they don't care if you're a miss. The way they see it is, hey, I got something bigger and better over here, but I qualified to have another spot on my roster, and I'm going to cut to the chase. See the type of girl you are. 9 times out of 10, you're not the only one. They're talking to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 more women like this. And the reason they're writing like this is because in the dating apps, they're in that top 20% box. They're the minority of men that have multiple women writing back to them. Because you're not answering Mr. Average, I'm pretty sure of that. They basically have the pick of the litter. And when you make videos like this with a car seat in the back, well, let's just say you go from the sweet, innocent sugar baby to the secondhand dating single mom that probably needs money to get a babysitter.
Let's talk about men over some fruit. I am back in the dating game, and let me tell you, I don't know if I like it. I was like not interested in talking to men, but now it's summer, why not? The few, I don't even want to call them men, the few gentlemen, that either, okay, males. The few males that I've been speaking to, they just immediately want to talk. Like, I don't get that. Why do you want to know what the color of my underwear are the second we start talking? And why do you, like, need to say the things I would do to you right away? Like, warm it up a little bit. I'm just like a little worried, but I know there are a lot of people and men out there for me to meet, but I'm a little scared. Not gonna lie. These men are like horny as shit. Haven't gotten them in a while. So, do I just ooze sex appeal? Maybe. Just kidding. Yeah, so what are we gonna do about it, ladies? Because I don't want to talk about that right away. Like, come on, eventually.
It's got electrolytes.
All right, my slightly plus-sized fruit-munching Colleen, let me just say something. The men who are talking like this to you that they quickly default to a schmexual kind of reference, are they in the wrong for doing this? This girl is going to say, missing a lot of context, missing exactly how the interactions went. Yeah, it sounds like they were in the wrong, but at the same time, this girl understands why these men go that route. Because I've said this before, if a guy that you reply on the dating apps, and usually you ladies reply to the top 20% of men, rarely do you reply to Mr. Average, those guys have their choice. Number one, they probably already have a woman that they're already sleeping with. Number two, they're just trying to get somebody on their roster to say, okay, let me get a side chick or my second side chick or a third side chick. And you ladies are the ones who keep swiping on this. You ask, oh, what are we going to do about this? Well, you always go for the Chads and the Tyrones. And the Chads and Tyrones are going to Chad and Tyrone because that's what they do. I mean, you said it yourself. Oh, I want that eventually. Why can't they do anything else? Why should they do anything else when they're used to women like you flinging it to them? Be honest, Queen. You're not swiping on a guy who looks like he works at a bank and has a 9-to-5 job and is super responsible. Hell no. You're swiping to the bad boy who looks super hot, who's chiseled up, unlike you. And you're thinking, oh man, he's going to give me a tour of Pound Town. I really want to be popped out through his mattress. Oh, but I want to be sweet talked to a little bit and told how special I am before he does this. Chances are these guys have had 6, 7 queens like you already, and they're just cutting to the chase. They want to put something else in your mouth other than a few grapes. But somehow, some way, you believe that your flappy taco is super special to them. I mean, it's got Fort Knox level of value. To them, you're just another slow Tuesday. Moving on.
I just broke things off with a guy because he complained about the cost of taking me to dinner on our 3rd date. Let me tell you the conversation, and I would love for you to weigh in. He and I had been on 2 dates, talked a lot. We had a 3rd date planned for today, actually, so Friday. But I get a text from him on Tuesday, and he's like, what are you doing today? And I told him what I was doing, and he's like, so are you free tonight? And I said, yeah, actually I am. I have no plans. He said, same, I'm free tonight, have this and that, and I'll be done by 6:30. And that's all he said. And I said, so are you asking me out? And he was like, yes, I am. He said, I can be to your place around 7. And then he said, I just need to be in bed by 10, so I can't be out too late. I was like, okay. And then he said, what do you have in mind? And I said, you asked me out. And now you want me to plan the date. Because, you know, heaven forbid a man plans a date. And I said, I don't know. Do you want to just go to dinner? Because it's 7. You want to meet at 7? That's when people eat dinner. And he responded with, okay, well, I'm kind of broke because I've incurred a lot of expenses lately. So if we're going to go to dinner, then it needs to be either cheap or 50-50. Excuse me? It's our third date. You're bringing up financial troubles and you're complaining about having to take me to dinner. Like, you can't spend $20 on a new girl that you're trying to pursue? No, absolutely not. I said, if this isn't in the cards, if you can't go on a date, then let's just not go on a date. He's like, no, I just want to do something low key. And I'm like, okay, what do you have in mind? He's like, what if we just like hang out and like have a bottle of wine? I'm like, oh, he just wants to hang out. Okay. And because I'm too nice, we ended up hanging out at my place. Oh, and by the way, we drank my wine. Also, I made a charcuterie for us from my groceries. Why do I do these things? Anyway, and then I was just like boiling the next day. I'm just like, what the hell? I do not want to date someone who is complaining about taking me to dinner on our third date. Like, that's wild to me. So I ended up just like we had, a lot of text back and forth, like, are we even compatible kind of thing. I am not broke, so I don't want to date someone who is having money issues and complaining about having to take me on a date, because I want someone who can match my lifestyle and wants to take me to fun dates and concerts and dinners and all of that kind of stuff and eventually travel with. So we're not a match. Bye, boy. And with that guy, my roster is officially at 0, and I'm so happy about it. I'm so sick of dating.
All right, fam, there is so much to unpack from that video. I mean, I was going to cut it halfway because I like to kind of like spread it out, because I believe a 3-minute rant is a little bit long. I do apologize to my viewers. I do know that some of you complain when I let the video run too long, but hopefully the whole video, you see why I let it run, because she was on a roll of putting out one red flag after another, and I just didn't want to stop that. Hell, there was so much I was dropped there. She says, oh, he's complaining about the cost of taking her out to dinner. So since when is it a man's responsibility to pay for dinner? Ladies, I thought that it wasn't about money for all of you. It was about the vibes and all this. But as we all know, you don't go off what Queen says, you go off her actions. And she's complaining because the guy doesn't have a lot of money to spend on her. But she's not broke. So the moment that she has to pull out some money, now it's a big problem. Because she said, what, you can't spend $20 on me? And then she complains that she had to provide the bottle of wine and provide groceries on a charcuterie board. OMG, the horrors of that. Imagine you providing something for a man that you're actually interested in. But unlike what women say that it's all about the vibes, you're going to judge the guy off of how much money he makes because he's not at your level. Correction, Queen. You're gauging this on a man's financial level. That's not your level, because look at you. Even with a filter working overtime, you're nothing more than a mid at best. I mean, sure, you want a guy to travel the world with. So here's a really crazy thought. If you want to travel so much, you want someone to travel with you, why don't you pay for the travel or pay for your half of the travel? Oh, can't have that. Why? Because it's important that a man provides, because he's a man. Notice how these queens want to hold men to traditional roles while they absolve themselves from their traditional roles. Sorry, Queen, don't work like that anymore. It's 2025. It's all 50-50 now. Why? Because you wanted equality. Here's a big slice of it. Take it. Equality is awesome until it's applied across the board. Then you have a complaint about it. Gentlemen, I cannot say this enough. Do not be fooled by these queens when they tell you that it's all about the vibes and it's all about how we get along. No, at the end of the day, it's all about what they want you to provide for them. You are not loved unconditionally. I mean, they all have pet cats and puppies that'll get more love than you unconditionally. You are loved conditionally, always. They want to know what you can provide. Now, ladies, this isn't me slamming women saying, see how you women are? No, this is me pointing something out, because a lot of you will say, oh no, it's not like that. It's all about making connections, this is that. Bull crap. It's a biological need that women have, that they are attracted to the guy who can provide the most resources. Yes, there's physical attraction. Yes, the guy can smooth talk a certain way. Yes, there are other factors. But at the end of the day, when it comes to a long-term relationship, not the initial attraction now. I'm talking about long-term. You women will look at what this man can bring to the table long-term. Is he a long-term provider? Which I'm going to say to you men out there, pay attention to that. Because just because you bring the resources long-term does not mean she's going to be faithful to you. 50% of marriages fail. And why is that? Because after years of being married, women forget that you're the one who provides everything for her. And then she goes back to what she believes is important, her fee-fees. So when the players talk to her a certain way and make her feel a certain way, she justifies cheating on you, justifies running out on the guy, and justifies taking half your stuff until it all runs out and then she's broke. And her boyfriend runs off with a younger, newer model than she is. Then that's when she wants to come back to you and fix things, i.e. she needs a retirement plan. I'm just saying, if you enjoy this audit, click on the video in the end screen for more content. If you would like to support the channel, please follow the link in the description to donate to our beer fund, or like, subscribe, and share this video on other social media platforms. If you agree or disagree with anything about this audit, please let us know in the comments. I'm going to leave this audit right here. I'll see all of you in the next episode.